that's what's amazing about 30 by 30 is because we're kind of crushing those gender stereotypes, and we're having that equality because, you know, back in the day, women weren't seen as being physically strong or mentally resilient, so how could we possibly do the job?
Montgomery County 911, what's the address of the emergency?
Today we're going to explore an important initiative that is helping to shape the future of law enforcement. The 30 by 30 initiative is a groundbreaking movement aimed to increase the representation of women in police forces across the nation to 30% by 2030. So,
Tanisha, Lieutenant Jensen, I apologize. We go back a little bit, which I'm very lucky for. But Lieutenant Jensen, you've been on the department for
26 years.
26 years. I got you to say that. I didn't. You look like you've been on for 2 years.
Well, thank you. I think.
Except you're a lieutenant, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, so you've been on for 26 years now. Who are you?
Who am I? So I am currently the Deputy Director of our Training and Education Division. So I work at the Training Academy.
Yep.
I've been there for about 1.5 years. I love it. Thank you, Chief. It's been great.
It's been great for me. You're doing an excellent job there.
Thank you.
But so you've been doing that, but before that, you just don't wake up a lieutenant. Before that, you were a shift sergeant.
Yeah.
You were PIO.
Yep.
You were PIO, which is, sorry.
The Public Information Officer.
That's what Cassandra is, right? You honor guard.
Yep.
You were on the honor guard with me.
Yeah.
To not only an honor guard member, but we've let you command some events.
Yeah. It's been great.
What else? Shift officer.
Detective.
Detective.
I was a missing children's detective.
Okay.
Domestic violence, adult sex crimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've done a little bit of everything in those 26 years.
You've worn a lot of different hats in the department.
I have.
Okay. Excellent. So, 30 by 30. Yeah. Again, I was, and I was lucky enough that you were also in the personnel division and I had that under me, and you brought an idea forward and we worked on it, which is
30 by 30 initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you come across it?
Yeah. So one of the professional organizations that I belong to is the International Association of Women in Policing. I got an email one day, and they were talking about the 30 by 30 initiative. So I brought the idea forward to then Captain Smith, our director in personnel, and we began to explore it. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it all the way through because I got a phone call that I got promoted to lieutenant. Yay! And but the recruitment team, they ran with it, and we are partners of that initiative since last summer.
And tell us, what is the 30 by 30 initiative? We know that it's supposed to, or we're aimed to get 30% of the department to be women by 2030.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so when these researchers and law enforcement professionals came together and started the 30 by 30 initiative, they saw that nationwide that women only were represented 12 to 13% in law enforcement. Okay. So the goal was to, like you had said, by 2030 to get that number to 30%. Montgomery County, when we signed on to the initiative last summer, we were already at 23%. So that's great. It's a great start, right? And 30% isn't the end goal, but it's right where that change happens, right? Because it's really important that we have that balanced and inclusive kind of landscape to how our department looks, because it's reflective, in the community. It's because women, we tend to bring a much different perspective to everyday work. Yeah, it's great.
So we've been a part of this initiative for several years now. How do you think we're doing now? I know you said we have a great start, but how do we look right now?
I mean, we're looking good.
Okay.
We're getting there. And I think we're just going to continue to, take off from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think part of it is us talking about that perspective And I found the research fascinating about it. About, not only the research about culture change, right? That 30% tipping point. You get 30% of the people on board, you can change a culture. And you can bring a perspective that infects others, right? Because like for you as a woman, actually, and I get to question you on this too, because
that was not part of the plan.
It is part of the plan. You're a woman in policing. You all tell me, like, you tell me your observations. You're on a call. You're on a call. What is a perspective that you all bring that's different than I would bring?
Sometimes it's just problem solving. It's having that unique sense of bringing calm to a situation, calm to chaos.
Right.
You know, diffusing. You know, a lot of times, you know, if you're on a call, a domestic or something where tempers are really, you know, they're up here, women, we can diffuse that. We can kind of calm, bring that calming effect.
Right. And it also has to do with the roles that we have, the experiences we have in life. Both of you, I know, are terrific mothers. And that experience brings a different element to the policing experience, right? Because again, you said you can call, because moms are problem solvers, brings peace, right? Settles things down, and you bring that to work.
I do think that sometimes being a woman, you're able to look at a situation and think outside of the box. Now, I'm sure there are definitely men who can do the same, you know, but I think women in general, we can have a little bit different perspective when looking at a certain situation.
Right, but the beauty is that we all go on a situation, one of us, because of that diverse thought, you know, one of us will trip across something that helps us diffuse something, get help for someone, find a way to solve a problem, whether it's from my experience as a dad, as a male, whatever your experiences as a mom, as a coach, as an honor guard, as a woman of color. I mean, all of those experiences go together and make us better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
that's my 2 cents. And I'm going to say 3 beautiful children.
Thank you, Chief.
3 beautiful children, 2 beautiful children.
Yes.
And I've got 3 girls too.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, my girls, they're amazing. Yeah. They have such a terrific view on things, and they amaze me every time they allow me the presence of talking to them. We're listening to them and listening how they work through issues, and how much more mature they are. I find great value.
And we can learn a lot from them. I learn things from my kids all the time that, believe it or not, I actually bring into work. You know, it's like, oh.
Okay.
You know, it's just, if it's their lingo.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually in a parenting class right now.
Okay.
And I love it. It's phenomenal. But for me, I'm learning so much in that class that I can use here at work as well. And it's all helping me at home too, you know, but it's phenomenal how all of the different avenues we can bring here to help us do what we need to do.
Absolutely.
So did you always want to be a cop?
No.
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 That's a quick answer.
Well, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's just, it was nothing, I didn't see that for myself. I didn't think that I had what it took to be a police officer. And I think that's what's amazing about 30 by 30 is because we're kind of crushing those gender stereotypes, and we're having that equality because, you know, back in the day, women weren't seen as being physically strong or mentally resilient, so how could we possibly do the job? But fortunately, I had other people that saw something in me, and they helped foster that and give me that confidence and encouragement.
Empowered, yeah.
And I said, hey, why not? I'll throw my hat in the ring, and here I am.
And here you are. And now you're telling, it's almost like you're going back and telling the young you, yeah, you can do this.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was your major in school? Because you said
psychology.
What were you going to be, a psychologist?
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
Yes.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's a lot of school.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Which is why I came here. I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break from all that schooling. I'll come here for a couple of years. I'll go back to school, but I stayed. I fell in love.
Lucked out.
Yeah.
At what point did you say, I'm not leaving. This is 100% what I want to do.
After I got through the academy and field training.
Okay.
Once I got on the other side of that.
And it was right away.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
What is it that you fell in love with so much?
Mainly the people that I work with. You know, I speak very highly about my very first shift that I was assigned to. Great people, still friends with them to this day. Friends, co-workers that became essentially family.
Family.
And just, you know, some of the things that we always talk about that, you know, no 2 days are the same, everything's different. Just getting out and engaging with the community. You know, I was also a school resource officer, so that was great, you know, being in the schools and working alongside of kids. And yeah, you get to see a lot of different things. This job has a lot to offer that you wouldn't originally think of.
Well, and I think one of the stereotypes, you just gave some great examples that I want people to latch onto. Some of the stereotypes is, you know, as a woman, number one, you can't be rough and tumble if you need to be, right? Or number two, you know, you can't do everything you want in a career because of, you know, you both are moms, but you both have done a lot of amazing things on the department. The support is there to do it.
It is there.
Well,
yeah.
I'm actually, I don't know why I'm feeding you the answer. I'm just, it's probably more appropriate to ask you, do you think the support is there?
Yeah, yeah. I had it at home. I had it in my family. I had it here at work. You know, we do offer that great work-life balance. You know, sometimes the flexibility in schedules. It's great. I've never felt that I wasn't there for my kids. I could be there if it was a sporting event, if it was an award ceremony, I could be there for them. And I always find that it's really important that if home is good, work is going to be good. And it's just going to enhance your overall performance.
Well,
so,
and you hit on something important there, but I saw your eyes light up when you mentioned the family, right? Strong support structure at home.
Yeah.
Made a difference.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
Definitely.
Who do we give a shout out to? Mom and dad?
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad?
Always, yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
But kids too.
And my kids.
Yeah.
My kids have been fantastic. They've been great. You know, one of the things, they love when I bring them to work. They're like, oh, wow. You know, I always try to incorporate them and have them understand, you know, if it's the assignments that I'm working or where I'm working, this is what mom does. And knowing that they understand that and that they support it, it makes it easier for me, and it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing that they're proud of you and they know you do, you know, they know why you sometimes are working those long hours, and they're there for you.
And there's a lot of long hours. I will say, you know, we're lucky on this department, and I don't think none of you have done the job share program.
No.
No.
Right? But it is a tremendous benefit that you can do, where we split a police officer position between two people, and you know, when it was brought on, it was meant for parents, right? And so you'd be on the same shift, and so for 2 days a week, one would work and have the car, and then for the other 2 days another would work. So there are things, even if you didn't have the, you know, awesome family structure at home, or not the complete thing, because we know everyone's got to work hard and get by, and there's still options like that that
Absolutely
you can go to.
here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I actually was just thinking as you were talking, and you had mentioned or asked, you know, what is something that we bring as females, and how often do we change our hats as a mom, right? So 1 minute we're a taxi driver, the next minute we are, you know, feeding the kids, we're the cook, we're the cleaner, and as an officer, we might show up on a call and have to be a therapist, right, a counselor. We show up, we're going to have to handle it in a different way, right? And I think so often we are changing our hats here, and I think that's a completely different perspective.
Absolutely.
That we have, I'm sure men do too.
And we're great at multitasking, right? That's the number one, like, description of being a mom. You have to multitask.
I'll give some props to our dads. We do that too.
Yes. Yeah.
Although we don't use taxi driver. You get a
Uber?
You're an Uber. You're an Uber driver. No, but law enforcement in general, right? It's the beauty of the job.
Yeah.
One minute you're going to the theft occurred earlier, the next minute you're going lights and sirens
Yeah.
to domestic
It's
violence.
constantly changing.
Yeah.
And then you're going and helping some nice lady get across the street or some nice man get across the
Yeah.
street,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, do you have anything that you would like to share with anybody who, another woman, you can say anybody, who is looking to come into the departments or who's just looking for some encouragement that may want to be an officer?
So, like I said before, I think women are discouraged because you may feel like you can't balance it, right? Because it is a balancing act. I'm not going to say that it was always easy and that there weren't some challenges,
Yeah.
but if you want it, you can have it all. You know, I've had what I see as a really successful career, a career that I love, while having, you know, that great family structure at home. And my advice is if this is something that you desire to do, and it's a dream of yours, give it a shot. It's a great place to work. We have a great department, a great community, and you can do it. You can achieve it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being here with us today. International Women's Day is just around the corner, and I'm so thankful that you were here to share a bit of your life, talk to us about the 30 by 30 initiative. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thank you for being here with us. Stay connected, stay safe.